how I can sum up the BSP challenge is, it came after Endless Lies. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it that now. Um, the BSP challenge was a competition put on by Black Sierra Productions. I believe that was their name, who are now currently disbanded. They they were a conglomerate of players from other teams who, I think some of them actually broke off and formed and joined BSP. I think others were still part of their initial teams. They were kind of a team, but they were mostly like a game hosting organization. Like that was their main focus, and it was awesome. It was something new. It was something put on by a different organization, whereas most other games were either just little skirmishes or hosted by Airsoft Pacific. Um, uh, Not bashing Airsoft Pacific. I mean, they've hosted a ton of games. I've loved most of them. BSP, a lot of the games they did were pretty damn good. The Conflict Europe series I still hold as just being fantastic. I'll talk more about that later. But the BSP challenge, ooh, yeah, that is easily the worst game I've been to. I can't even really call it a game. Again, it was a competition. It was a CQC competition with 2 scenarios for $50. And right there, oh my god, $50 for 2 scenarios, and they were short freaking scenarios. Like, they tried to do something unique with each of them, but oh god. I'm actually really excited to talk about this because I've actually been meaning to vent about this for quite some time. This wasn't planned, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna turn this into its own video. So yeah, the scenario was you had your team sign up, and I don't think there was actually a limit on players. I think it was, well, there probably was. It was probably under 16 or something like that. We had 10, I think, and it was held in the Portland area, I believe, at the PDX Cage, I think. No, it wasn't the Cage. Crap, I can't remember the location of it at this point. But, yeah, 2 scenarios, $50. We didn't care. We just wanted to do a CQC competition. We were so freaking gung-ho for CQC at that point, we didn't care what the hell we were doing. I mean, it didn't matter who hosted it. We just wanted to do CQC because I think this was prior to CQC 7, which is, at this point, the most recent one, which happened, which that was back in like 2010 or something, and I'm desperate for another CQC competition. This was at a point where our CQC games had gone like this. CQC 4 was the very first one we did. We loved it. We didn't do that well, but we loved it. CQC 5, not everyone on the team got to take part in it, and it was just one scenario. It was one long scenario, but it was one scenario. And unfortunately, if you got killed early on, that was it. You paid $50 to play, and you were done. So a lot of people were disappointed about that. CQC 6, we acted, and we had fun, we just didn't get to compete. The War CQB Challenge, which was hosted by the Willamette Airsoft Rangers, War. 3 scenarios, really cheap price, a lot of fun, loved it. So that's what we really wanted more of. Then the BSP challenge comes along. We're like, holy shit, this is put on by a game creating organization. This is gonna be good stuff. $50? Yeah, we can swing that. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna take it. We're gonna take the BSP challenge. That was our attitude. So we were pretty excited. Trying to think of where to start with this one. The first scenario, I see what they were doing. It just did not work. Basically, you had your team sit in on a PowerPoint presentation. There was a projector, and it went through slides and images, and it gave you notes about like the person you had to protect. It was a escort mission, basically. You had to sit in a car with 2 other cars, one in front, one behind, and in the middle car there was someone you had to basically escort. It might have only been 2 cars, I can't remember. But yeah, you had to escort this person to a location, at which point the convoy was going to get overwhelmed and shot upon, and you had to react and protect your escort. But it started out with a PowerPoint presentation, and you had to take notes, and then they quizzed you, and you lost points if you missed any of the questions. I mean, I understand that, and they were very, very serious about it. Like, they literally treated it like a freaking military drill. Like, they were, like, in your face asking you questions. It was not that much fun. Also, you got marked down if you left the projector on, which they didn't tell you. So, if you left the room, which had someone else running the projector, and you didn't turn it off, you got marked down. You lost points. Yes, we did lose points for that because no one told us. I think we lost maybe a couple points on the quiz, but we knew going into it that we were going to be quizzed, so we took notes like fucking crazy. So, we did okay on that, but it's still just, the concept of it wasn't fun. You know, we were there to be in a competition based off of our airsofting techniques and breaching maneuvers, and not memory skills and shit like that. It just kind of put a damper on the whole thing right away. And then, we hopped in the cars. We had, I think we actually were spread out over 3 cars, come to think of it. You could carry a pistol with you, but any larger weapons like shotguns, I think shotguns were the primary thing you could carry. I think a few AEGs. Anything like that you had to actually carry in a lockbox in the back of the truck, which, I understand that. That was actually kind of a cool mechanic. But yeah, you could carry a pistol with you, you just had to keep it concealed. You also had to wear clothing which could easily conceal a weapon because we were supposed to be undercover security, I think, or some sort of secret service. Basically, you couldn't have your weapon showing, and you had to basically pull off the look of a civilian. So, black overcoat, something, basically not camo. We all passed on the concealed weapon. I know that sounds bad. We were concealing weapons. No, this was on sanctioned airsoft property. So, we got in the cars, and the scenario started out pretty cool with all of a sudden, you're getting followed by other cars, and this was all through backwoods and stuff like that, and it ended up, like, the shootout took place on someone's private property where we could safely airsoft, so that was checked out too. Just saying that now, just so there's no safety concerns or anything like that. Started at a designated airsoft CQC facility, ended on someone's private property, which was sanctioned for airsoft. So, just getting those safety concerns out of the way. But we got to the location, and we just got completely stormed by opposition from every location, and it wasn't fun. I literally opened the door, shot at someone, I got shot in the arm, and I was done. Guy in the car next to me did the same thing. He popped out of the car, tried to shoot at someone, got shot. Someone else on the team did pretty well. He actually ended up dragging the escort, who I think got injured. She got shot in the leg, and I think she could actually take multiple shots, but ended up dragging her and pulling her along to get into the back car. But yeah, we lost pretty savagely, and it wasn't feeling that fun, especially for the price. I mean, there's really basic CQC scenarios you can pull off, which are a lot more fun. Just standard, like, drug raids, SWAT, bomb threat, whatever. Just, there's really basic stuff. I think they were really trying to think out of the box, and I applaud them for that. It just didn't translate well. So that was scenario 1. Scenario 2 was a bit more conventional. It was a drug raid on this lab where this drug kingpin was basically inside, and this again was a very cool idea. It just relied on way too much and it didn't work out. Basically, you could send someone in, 2 people actually. You could send 2 people in, and they were your undercover people. So they went in posing as people wanting to buy from the drug kingpin. I know I'm screwing up terminology, I don't care. He was a drug lord, a drug kingpin, a drug dealer, whatever. So you could send 2 people in, and if you had like radios, you could do that. We decided to use cell phones, so he had a cell phone in his pocket, on call to me, and we were listening into everything. And we got some information that we could use to basically think up alibis and backstories for the person buying the drugs. I can't remember what it was. Something just wasn't right. Like, there was some error which happened in which, like, the guy actually playing the drug dealer forgot the name of the prison, which was supposed to be integral to the backstory or something, and somehow it just got screwed up, and it messed with the people that we had going undercover. And then the call got dropped. I don't know how, just all of a sudden the call got dropped, and I get a call back, and it's from the drug dealer. And he's like, yo, who the hell is this? Why are you in his pocket? You know, I heard you guys breathing over there. We weren't saying a fucking thing. And it was just one of those things where the guy playing the drug dealer was looking for ways to, like, mark them down. And I know that's realistic in terms of, like, you know, being suspicious of someone you don't know, but like, everything with their story checked out. They said it line for line, and he just looked for a way to mark them down. And he found the cell phone, and I picked up the phone, and he was like, yo, who the hell is this? I was like, yo, this is Mark. Who the hell is this? Did Terry pocket dial me again or something? So I tried to pull it off, but he was just being an actor who wanted to get to the shooting really quickly. So he was like, I don't believe you motherfuckers. I'm gonna kill this guy right now. And it played off exactly like he was just trying to go further with the scenario and not like actually live in the moment and react naturally. So that kind of pissed us off. And then we got marked down because we didn't announce ourselves as police. We didn't know we were supposed to do that. They didn't tell us we were police. We didn't know what the situation was. We could have been police. We could have been SWAT team. We could have been a military group. We could have been mercenaries. We could have been a freaking rival drug gang. They didn't tell us that we had to announce ourselves as police. So, we lost points on that. Yeah. So we swept through the room. It was actually it was pretty fun sweeping the room. We were taking people out. We took people hostage. We ran up to them with guns and, you know, got to scream at them, and that was pretty fun. Told them to get down on their knees, and they dropped their guns, get down on their knees, and we'd search them, take their... I took some guy's wallet. I feel kind of bad about that. It was his actual wallet, but I took it as evidence anyways. I did give it back to him. So we swept through the area, and this was the final incident of bullshit. We're still searching the area. I am upstairs searching the area, which is where the drug kingpin was supposed to be, and so he made his final stand. We ended up taking him. We're searching the area, and in the corner there is a stash pile of drugs. And before I could get to that corner, because it wasn't in plain sight, you had to basically go around a little turn, and then in that corner there was a giant stash pile of powdered sugar or flour or something like that. Who knows, maybe it was drugs. That'd be interesting. Wow, Airsoft took a dark turn all of a sudden. No, but before I could get to that corner to search, the admins, who were BSP, started basically saying to us, hey, call index. Alright, call index. Hey, okay guys, call index. And in case you don't know, index is basically, you know, end of session, end of game, whatever. So they kept saying, call index. Okay, you guys ready to call index? You calling index? Huh? You calling index? You gonna call it? So we finally went just like, okay, well they're saying call index. I guess there's nothing left. I mean, why else would they be legitimately pushing us to call index? Like, okay, index. Alright, so you guys missed the drug stash and another guy got out the back door. It's like, well, we weren't fucking done searching. Well, you called index. Yeah, we were pretty pissed off. So, overall, we got marked down for not turning off a PowerPoint projector, which we didn't know that we weren't supposed to turn off. We got marked down for basically a school test. We got marked down for basically our poor performance in getting shot at from all angles while using cars for cover. We got marked down for not announcing ourselves as police. We got marked down for our poor performance with the undercover drug dealer purchasers, but that was just a whole clusterfuck. Got marked down for not finding the drug stash, even though we weren't given the proper time to search for it. We got marked down for letting someone get out the back door, even though we just didn't know what the hell was going on there. It was basically someone who was waiting by the door and just took off out the door once we came in, so I don't know what the hell was supposed to happen there. They didn't tell us we could put people on the back door if we could. We didn't know that. So, I know this is a lot of complaining I'm doing in this video. I'm sorry about that. This is basically just me wanting to talk about the worst games I've been to. And, you know, do your frickin' research when you're gonna go to a game. I mean, I think a big concern is if you're gonna do a CQC event and there's only one or two events and they look like they're going to be over really quickly, expect to be a little disappointed. I think the perfect CQC game, like CQC competition, consists of 3 scenarios, and they should be very diverse. You've got like a bomb threat, you've got hostage rescue, or maybe some sort of negotiation, and then finally like a drug raid. I think those 3 really balance it out and make it the most fun, and just really mixes it up. 1 or 2 just doesn't do it, and a lot of people charge a lot of money for their CQC competitions because, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Some people hire legitimate actors, and that's awesome. That really adds to the realism, and they also work a lot on props. You know, there's a lot of stuff with you know, property costs. So CQC competitions just by themselves are going to be really expensive. So make sure you're getting a lot out of it for your money. So yeah, I know I started talking about an outdoor operation. Now I'm talking about a CQC competition. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the worst games I've been to. There aren't that many others that come to mind. In terms of operations, I mean, I've been disappointed at games. I've done the whole, you know, just guarding a tower, guarding a village for way too long, but you know, those games usually weren't that expensive, or we just found ways to make it better. We've actually even just done that in recent times where we just designate a spot to just hang out and chill, set up posts for our guns, and just sit there talking, making ridiculous movie references and quotes and doing voices, and we now call it Meow House. When we find a spot, like, okay, Meow House? Yeah, we're going to call this a Meow House right now. And what a Meow House is basically you get all your people to just watch out there for guys, or not, depending on the seriousness of the game. It could just be sitting and shooting the shit, just talking, you know, shoot people that try and come up and mess with you. But that's a Meow House. What that's actually referenced to is we did a D&D campaign once, and the owner of the house had a cat who kept coming in and meowing at us, and we kept saying that he wanted us to get it. He kept saying, "Get out of Meow House right now," or "Get out of Meow House right meow." So the name sucks. That's where Meow House comes from. I know, horribly ridiculous story, has nothing to do with anything that I've been talking about. So yeah, those are the 2 worst games that I've been to, with the 3rd being the time I broke my gun. If you've got any horrible game stories, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great summer.